Welcome to the Patriot Barbie podcast. This show is made possible by Spreely Media. Download the Freedom Hub app today and join the free speech movement. I want to thank the people and the companies that keep my show going. All my sponsors can be found on patriotbarbie.com on my shop page. Century H2O, water systems for your home that provide clean, toxic free, fluoride free, and pharmaceutical free drinking water for your family and pets for under $300. Dylan's Restaurants has been a proud podcast partner for years, and the owner is my personal friend. With 4 locations throughout Arizona, you'll always find one to dine at and love, especially the zoo. Well, especially the ranch. Well, maybe the one floating on Lake Pleasant. Dang it, they're all good. Support your freedom loving businesses and please check out Dylan's Restaurants. Small business owners, claim your employee retention tax credit for 2020 and 21 with an accountant you can trust. If you don't know what this is, you could be missing out on hundreds of thousands of dollars. Go to patriotbarbie.com and click on my partners page to read up. My Freedom Cart, a conservative owned, made in America, toxic free company that lets you shop online and delivers everything to your front door. Clean products, protein, snacks, hair care, makeup, toiletries. Dude, ditch Amazon, keep the perks, and support a pro-life and pro-freedom company. myfreedomcart.com. My beautiful smile is brought to you by Dr. Daniel Slyke. His dental team is passionate, detailed, gentle, and clearly very talented. My entire smile has been restored to stunning, and I owe it all to him. He's right here in Scottsdale, and consults are free. Go to patriotbarbie.com, look him up, and schedule your free consultation. You guys, once again, you can find all my partners, my makeup line, my Patriot wine, my merch company, and the Freedom Cart at patriotbarbie.com under the shop page. Now, are you ready to get started? Let's go. Welcome to the Patriot Barbie podcast. I'm your host, Lindsey Graham, author and conservative activist. I love Jesus. I love America. I'm a proud wife, mom of 3, and I'm having bold and witty conversations with America's patriots, the ones that cancel culture desperately want to blacklist. Trust me, I've been there. In 2020, I defied government lockdowns in Oregon, reopened my salon, and became an icon of freedom. I've been targeted by government and raging liberals every day since, and I refuse to back down. Patriots, I'm here to tell you, your values are worth fighting for. The Patriot Barbie podcast starts now. Welcome to the Patriot Barbie podcast. Let me tell you a little story. So there I was, December 17th, America Fest, Phoenix Convention Center with Turning Point USA. I go in the ladies' restroom. Why? Because I'm a lady. And I see this fabulous woman at the sink washing her hands. And I kind of look, and I kind of look again, and it's getting a little creepy. And I swear she looks familiar. And I'm like, do I know you? She says, no, I don't think so, in what sounds like maybe a little bit of a Russian accent. And I was like, what's your name on Instagram or whatever? She says, Torry Hermann. And I'm like, maybe I follow you. And she's like, maybe. So then I leave the bathroom and then stumble across her profile like 3 days later on Instagram. And she's got this strong Russian accent and she's doing these hilarious videos. And I'm like, that is the girl from the bathroom. I follow her. She's like TikTok viral. She's like a viral TikTok influencer. So humble, doesn't even bother to say like, well, you probably follow me on TikTok because that's like not even a Russian accent. But anyway, I don't know anything about this woman except that she's hilarious. And I hope she's full Russian character today. Torry, welcome to the show.
Hello, everybody. Hello, my sexy pumas and my beautiful Patriot Barbie. Thank you so much for having me. You know what's funny, though? I have to correct your story because I recognized you and I have been following you for a long time. And when I ran out of the bathroom, I'm like, are you the Patriot Barbie? And you're like, yes. I'm like, I follow you. I know you.
See, I forgot about that part. I was like so scatterbrained at Amfest. There was so much going on, but it's like weird because that's it though. You still were like, I follow you. And I'm like, ooh, well, you're way more important than I am. Like,
Oh,
not that you were going to say that, but
I think we do kind of like the same mission, just in 2 different ways, which is amazing.
Yeah, you are very comedy driven though. Like there's not a lot of people. This is like the most incredible compliment. It's not easy to make me laugh. Like you've got to be pretty funny. I'll go to comedy shows and just sit there like, that's not funny. That's not funny either. Like, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
my husband knows when I'm on Instagram, if I'm laughing, he's like, "Are you watching that Tory girl again?" I'm like, "Yeah, she's so funny." What I don't
Thank
understand is
you, thank
like,
you.
how do you come up with so much? Is your brain just constantly like writing down, like, "Oh, I got to do a reel on this. Oh, I got to do a reel on this."
Well, I'm sure you know that world nowadays just gives you so many things to laugh at.
Oh my gosh, yes,
So
seriously.
many topics. And honestly, like I lived in Canada before I moved to LA. Now I moved to LA. And honestly, daily I see so many crazy things that I just like put it down in my phone, and then just like a
Yeah.
reel comes, like a whole script comes to my head. I can just kind of just like write a script down and then I act. What you see on Instagram and TikTok, though, is not even half of the videos that I actually produced and made. It's
Oh
just
my
I
gosh.
constantly get them banned and taken down.
Jeez.
And it's kind of like my job, right? Like I get
Hmm.
paid
Yeah.
by brands, so I can't really afford losing my Instagram and TikTok.
Right.
So I
Right.
try to post very sort of like filtrated and censored
Hmm.
videos that
Yes.
can't really get banned. But I do post the rest on like other social media, like Truth Social or
Yeah.
Twitter. And
So you did a video the other day, and I'm pretty sure it was based on my like men's locker room thing. And you're like, I don't understand why people can't, why they're so confused about identifying as a microwave. And I was like, ow. So I'm like next to my husband cracking up, and he's like, oh, there she goes again. But then it was gone. So did
Mhm.
people start reporting it, or were you, because it was all about gender dysmorphia basically? Did people
Yeah.
start reporting it, or were you afraid it was going to get taken down?
So I didn't think that it's actually going to be banned because
Mhm.
it never really said anything about transsexual people. It I
Mhm.
more was talking about people that decide to identify as whatever the fuck they're identifying for wrong reasons, right? Like for
Yeah.
example, to be a predator in a woman's locker room, like to
Mhm.
really be a pedophile, just like
Yep.
cover it up in a. But I posted it on TikTok and I was really hoping that people will understand me, but it got banned for harassment and hate speech almost like within 5 minutes.
Oh my
On
gosh.
Instagram, it got close to 1,000 comments. And honestly, 70%, which I was very happy about, 70% of comments were positive. And people were
Yeah.
like, yes, finally, somebody speaks about it. Because
Yeah.
we're now so trained to not talk about this madness that's going on
Yeah.
because somebody is going to be offended. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah. Well, and like they're offended that you're telling the truth. Like they're offended that you're
Exactly.
telling the truth. Why can't I disagree with you? Why can't I disagree
Exactly.
with you?
And that's what most people were saying in the comments. They're like, "Wow, why are you were all fighting for like equality and free speech. Now that somebody has an opinion that is different from what you believe in, you're
Hmm.
trying to get her canceled, banned, and so on." So when the video, I realized it's going to be also taken down, and I'm really close on Instagram to kind of like be banned.
Oh my
So
gosh.
and with Instagram, it's the worst because they like shadow ban you for like a month or
Whatever the
two.
heck they want.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So, and that's when I just like can't afford losing
No.
that right now, even though like I
They're
have a
banking on
backup
that too.
stuff. But of course they do. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're shutting you down. Anything you say that is um, that goes against what the government plan is,
Hmm.
that is going to get canceled and banned, and you're going to
Yep.
be talked about saying that you are racist, that you hate trans people, that you do
Yep.
this and that.
Homophobic.
I i actually don't hate anybody, but come close to my kids telling them that it's okay to have penis in women's locker room,
Yep.
and I'm
You're
gonna hate
done.
on you.
I'm gonna
You're done.
disagree with you. I'm gonna kindly disagree with you and chop your balls off.
Yeah, exactly. You're definitely
Oh,
gonna have that surgery done by me without any anesthesia.
That's right. So, I was banned on TikTok like,
Oh,
oh, I'm gonna say like a year and a half ago.
oh
It was when
wow.
the vaccine mandates were rolling out, and people
Hmm.
were going on and on about how they couldn't get a religious exemption and all these things. And I did a video basically like trying to explain that religious freedom means that I don't have to answer to you about what my religion is, right? So if
Yeah.
God tells me, because I do have a relationship with God, not to get vaccinated, that's it. That's my religious success. I don't owe you paperwork. I don't owe
Yeah.
you an explanation. Like that is my religion.
Hmm.
And TikTok permanently banned me for that.
That's
So when I
crazy.
say permanently banned, I mean I could go onto my web to my laptop, create a new account, but then when I would go onto my phone to try to log in, it wouldn't let me. It knew my phone. Like it knew. It
Yeah.
wouldn't let me log into any TikTok account. So that was about a year. A year I could not create a new account, nothing.
Wow.
And I was talking to someone about TikTok and he's like, "Oh, you're banned." And I was like, "I should try it again just to see." Well, then they let me log on. So I created a new account. So I was like, "Yeah, I'm on TikTok. Probably going to get banned again, so I'm like not going to put too much effort in, right?"
Yeah.
So I go onto TikTok that evening and I just start downloading some of my Instagram videos and I put them on TikTok. I woke up the next morning and I had 3 strikes. It was
No
like, "Your account
way.
is at risk of being banned." And I was like, "I've only had it for 12 hours." So every
Oh my
single,
God.
yeah. So every time I would upload a video, I'm like, "All right, let's see." So, the cat video that went viral, me and
Yeah,
a
I
cat.
love that's the
Thank you.
video I started following you after. I
Oh,
was
thank
like,
you. Thank you.
I this
You're
is
like, meow.
amazing.
So that video, TikTok removed it for hate speech, of course. And everyone
Bec-
else on TikTok was sharing it,
yeah.
but I got it removed.
Yeah, but don't you see how idiotic that is?
Yeah,
That you cannot be a fucking cat, but a 70-year-old man with a penis can be a woman.
right. Right. And
Like,
and
where?
his
Why
speech
not?
isn't
Why not
hate.
a cat?
Yeah, and his speech isn't hate. Him saying, "Hey,
Yeah,
I'm basically a predator. I'm gonna go spy on
yeah,
naked women with my wiener." Oh, that's inclusive. That's inclusive.
yeah,
But if you make any comparison, which is all I did, it was hate speech, and it's also weird because that means you know that they're monitoring your account because my video, which is the original video, got removed and I got a
yeah,
strike or whatever it is they do on TikTok, and everyone else was sharing it and getting millions and millions of views, and I was like, it's literally the same speech. It's still
yeah.
me, same. So it's not like they can actually censor people. They're just choosing who to censor.
Yeah, of course. And they probably, I don't know which, maybe they know like your handle, the Patriot
Mhm.
Barbie.
Yeah.
And
If it says Patriot, cut her off.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
they're like, oh,
Oh,
that's the cat lady.
there she is. Yeah. So, how did you get your start on social? Like, how many TikTok followers do you have now?
So I have two accounts. I'm smart in that way because I know, just like you, any day it might be the last day of my
That's right.
TikTok. So I have two accounts. One of them is 1.7 million, and the other one is 700,000, like just the
Okay.
backup account. But
Yeah.
now I'm turning that into my husband's account so we can kind of go
Collab.
go at it both
Yeah.
because he
Yeah.
has exactly same views as I do, and I think
Okay.
both of us being there is going to be more valuable.
Right.
So I started basically about maybe 2 years ago. Before that, I was a car salesperson. I used to sell BMWs in
Gosh.
Canada for 5 years, and I really hated my job. And I really just started. I downloaded TikTok and I had no idea what that is and how it works. I've never been
Mhm.
really a fan of social media. I didn't really know how to use it, how to get followers. I tried many times and I would get to like maybe 500 followers and then I'm like, that's so boring. uh,
I got 3 comments. Yay.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's just like insane. And then a lot of haters, and you get all the like
Yep.
negative comments, and people like hating on how you look and your plastic
Yep.
surgeries and your
Yep.
hair and this and that. They don't like your nose,
Yes.
your, you know. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I never had really social media. And then I started on TikTok actually posting car videos. I'm sure you know Supercar Blondie.
No.
You know? Okay. So
I'm
it's
writing
like
that
a
down
blonde
though.
girl. Yeah, she's fun. She does basically like car walkarounds, and uh she takes videos of some really crazy cars, like concept cars. She's now massive, like I'd say probably like 20 million followers or something.
She
So I
can't be as
tried to
funny
do
as you.
she thank you. um so I started doing car walk around videos basically, and I got so much hate on TikTok. People were like, she's so stupid, she doesn't know anything about cars.
Oh my gosh. People
So
are so
I'm like,
Hey,
oh,
and they call us hateful. Isn't that
yeah,
hilarious?
exactly. Those are probably the
So
same
weird.
people that are like identifying as microwave or something.
Yes,
So
microwave.
so I shut down my TikTok, and then one day I was having wine with my friends, and whenever I drink, my Russian accent just starts being stronger and stronger.
Uh-huh.
So eventually at some point I started speaking with like really strong Russian accents, and they're like, "This is so funny. You should make a video like this." So I
Yeah.
did a video. My very first video was about how Russian versus American girl um, treats her husband like he has to wash the dishes or whatever.
Yeah.
And I posted it on TikTok. Overnight, it got 3 million views. And I'm like,
Gosh.
I don't know if
Oh,
you've
I'm
seen
on
that
to
video. It's
something.
like, do I go to Hollywood or does Hollywood come to me?
That's right. You're like, I'm gonna start chugging wine every day and make videos.
Yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
now I'm just gonna be official alcoholic.
Nah.
So yeah, and then that's basically how I started. And then I basically started implementing um I'm trying really to bring a lot of ideas about family, you know, anti whatever is going on right now,
Yeah.
anti microwaves.
Yeah.
But I choose to do it through the comedy, and that
Yep.
way more people relate to it, and
Mhm.
those videos are less likely to be banned um,
Yeah.
than the ones where I would be openly talking about how I feel.
Yeah. So do you guys have kids?
We do not, but I do have two little cousins that are growing up in
Mhm.
Russia, and we can talk about that too, because how they're being raised now is just so nice, and I really hope that when I do have kids, they will be also raised in that way.
Yeah,
They're all
so what's
homeschooled,
like
and
yeah, what's the difference? Is it a culture thing? Is it a country thing? Like
uh,
what's the difference?
so in Russia, when people have children, uh kids are always busy. So, for example, when I was growing up, I never really had time to think about whether I'm a boy or a girl, or all this kind of stuff, because I was constantly busy. I had
Yeah.
school, music school. My parents really did invest their time in making sure that I get enough education, sports, friend time, and all this kind of stuff, that I don't have time to think about whether I want to be a microwave or a hamster today. So
Yeah.
I think nowadays kids are just being left in school, and whatever school teaches them is basically what they become.
Yep. Yeah.
Uh, I'm going to tell you a funny story. When I was 6 years old, my parents took me, I think, to Egypt or Thailand or one places like this. And I saw, for the first time, I saw a black person. And I was so, it was this beautiful lady, and she had this like massive eyelashes and like long hair and stuff. And I looked at her, and I was so fascinated. And then I turned to my parents and I said, I want to be black. So it's really funny because my parents had to explain to me that there's no way I'll have to maybe be reborn as a black person, but
Oh my
there's no
gosh.
way. But how is it different than now kids basically looking at how cool it is to be that rainbow blah blah
Mhm.
blah insanity that's being taught to them in schools? and they look at it and they're like, oh, that's colorful, oh, that's cool, oh, I'm gonna be that. Hey mom,
Yep.
I'm gay. You're
Yeah. Yep.
6. What
Yep.
are you
It's
talking about?
it's one thing to authentically be gay. Like that's a
Yeah,
real
yeah,
thing.
exactly.
But how is it that we went from like 0.6% of the United States population is gay to like
Yeah,
20%? I mean, it's like, I don't know if that's the real number, but it's insane. It's like, it's become a trend. Your sexuality has become a trend. So
it is a trend,
why is it
really.
a joke?
Yeah,
What's that?
and I have a lot of gay friends. They're awesome. I
Yeah.
love them. But they
Yep.
didn't explore their sexuality when they were 7 because
Yes.
their teacher told them that they don't necessarily, that just because they have a penis doesn't necessarily mean that they're a man. You know, like
Right. Yeah.
uh, they explored it later on when they
Mhm.
became sexually active, and they realized that they're more attracted to the same gender, and they're
Mhm.
happy and they're
Yep.
wonderful, and
Yep.
some of them are Russian. And it's not
Ah,
even popular, and it's
yeah.
kind of like a taboo in Russia, right? But they're wonderful men and women, and they have kids, some of them, and they are not implementing their sexuality on kids. Let them
Right. Yeah.
let kids be kids.
Yep.
I
A
don't even
rational
remember.
adult.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even remember really even being interested in like sex and intimacy and like kissing, and until I was, maybe like kind of exploring at 13, 14, or
I was gonna
when I
say,
started
tell you
like,
better say your age.
yeah.
Till I was like 9. 9. Yeah.
Just after I started drinking vodka. No, no,
That's
I'm kidding.
right. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was a total, like, I don't wanna say prude because that sounds cruel. It sounds like a negative connotation,
Hmm.
but this was not a thing when we were kids. I mean, I
No,
remember not watching sex scenes in movies, like,
no.
not being even like, I didn't even wanna hold hands with a boyfriend in junior high. Like, hold hands was like, "Ah,
Yeah,
so awkward." We've like robbed these kids of that that time when, of all the times in your life, just be carefree. You shouldn't have a care in the world, but instead you've got the biggest cares in the world. They're pushing like adult decisions on you. It's so
yeah,
sad.
yeah. Well, it's all very much planned. I
Hmm.
don't think it's necessarily people that are waking up, but people are being brainwashed. And the whole point of this entire thing is to destroy family. Because
Yes.
you have a husband, you have 3 kids, you
Yep.
are a very strong entity, and you are a fear, a threat. Threat? Did I say it? Yeah.
Yeah.
For people in the government that want to control you,
Hmm.
because you're easier to be controlled, or to be controlled when you are a single mom and you're relying on the government support for
Hmm.
money or whatever,
Yep.
or when you don't know your identity and you're trying to
Right.
figure out whether you want to be a microwave, um, and you're also relying on the government for that, because now a lot of insurances are covering gender transition surgeries and
Yep.
stuff, right?
Yep.
So it's all
Yeah.
convenience. Of course, like I understand that there are some people that really do have issues with who and how they were born,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
it's a very small amount of those people. The rest of
Right.
the people that are just being very confused, they're very convenient for the government to have them that way.
Yeah.
It's perfect, because
Yep.
it's really
And
hard to control a family. You can
right.
homeschool your kids, you can educate your kids in whatever way you want. If you're a
Hmm.
single mom and you have 3 kids, you really have no other choice than to give them to the government school, where they're going to be taught all the things that are being taught now.
Yep. And gosh, I had a cool point and I don't remember what it was.
Sorry.
Oh, the
I was
gender
talking.
no, I wanted you to talk, Sam. The gender, the transitioning is, it's almost like being a medical slave too. I interviewed a trans man, so a woman, on my podcast. It's going to come out in a couple weeks. And he is trapped in the medical community.
How
She has
come?
had so many issues with the hormones. No one
Oh,
told her, if you transition into a man and we give you this medicine, this testosterone, what could happen. She just
oh
started
my
blindly
God.
taking it. She has so many issues with it. She said, I'm going to get off of the testosterone and I'm going to let it get out of my system. Well, then she started going through withdrawals and has so many medical issues withdrawing from it. She basically is like, well, I'm not a man. I'm a woman trying to be a man. I can't be a man because I can't take the medicine, but now I can't be a woman again either because it's ruined my body. I'm a man. Like I'm a man,
Oh
or
my God, that's
I have man things.
crazy.
So she literally is a patient the rest of her life. And
Yeah.
she's not the only one. There are hundreds, probably
Yeah.
very few that we even know of. Once they start that transition, they if you think about it, you're doing these not scientific, not intended things to your body to try to be something it's not.
Yeah.
Just like you wouldn't give someone a kidney with the wrong blood type, right? Your body's going to
Yeah.
reject it. Your body's going to reject hormones and medicines that aren't supposed to be there. And once it
Yeah.
does, you're a slave to the medical community, and they know that too. They know that they can get more money off of you if
Hmm.
you have medical issues the rest of your life.
Of course, it all really comes down to money.
Yep.
Either way. Well, but I had no idea that there. Well, yeah, it's probably logical. Putting all the stuff in your body that you like testosterone and stuff. I don't know anything about it, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. Good.
um, but I think this is amazing that you talk about that with somebody who's open to speak out, because if you
Mhm.
go on TikTok, all you see the rainbows and how
Mhm.
wonderful it is to,
Mhm.
they're only talking about the positive sides. It's like,
Yep.
oh yes, you are changing to who you actually feel like you are, and this is wonderful, and then rainbows, and it's so colorful, and you're going to be
Mhm.
happy. But nobody really talks about what you just told me, because this is the reality, and this is like the negative side of it, and this is exactly what should also be uh, explained, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. And if they do talk about it, they actually, like, if a trans person talks about, "Hey, I'm transitioning back. Here's what happened to me. It's horrible. Please
Yeah.
don't do it." They get attacked by the trans community for speaking out
Mm,
against it, even though it's something that they experience. Like, I was
yeah.
one of you. I was one of
Yeah.
you. It hurt me. I'm trying to help you. They say, "Oh, you're anti-trans." He's like, "Literally trans. How can I be anti-trans?" And then
Exactly.
TikTok censors it too as hate
Yeah.
speech, even though they've been there and they are one of those people. Oh, rainbows, colors. Oh,
Yeah.
hold on a second. Let me warn you. This wasn't what I thought.
Yeah.
TikTok will ban them.
Yeah, it's like if you talk about any medical procedure, for example, I've done I have breast implants, and I talk
Mhm.
about both sides of it, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
it's cool, it looks nice, but also I had horrible infection, and it took me, few months to get back to normal life, and I couldn't.
Mhm.
I thought I have to like remove everything, and my body was destroyed, and I had horrible depression and stuff. So it's okay to talk about this. This doesn't get banned or
Right.
taken down. But once
Yep.
you talk about something that's actually pretty much the same thing, which is also a medical procedure that you
Yep.
had a bad experience with and you want to warn people, then that's not allowed, because it is not
Crazy.
convenient. Because
Yeah.
the more people go through these medical procedures, the more money government is going to make,
Yep.
the less families are going to be out there, the less children are going to be born,
Yep.
and so
Yep.
on.
Yep. It's really, that's actually a huge concern of mine is we we've all gotten, some people have gotten vaccinated, right?
Hmm.
And now we're not going to be able to put this episode on YouTube.
You
And I think
Just,
I
I'm
said it.
telling you, just
It's
beep
over.
everything.
Like, yeah, yeah. We're gonna just bleep that out. I think that that is affecting women's and men's reproduction systems, but also, duh, if you've got men cutting off their wieners and
Hmm.
women doing whatever they do down there to try to be a man, I don't even know. I don't want to know. You've got people that can't procreate, but also, like, just the hormones alone does enough damage that
Yeah.
these people ruin their reproduction systems permanently. If we're doing that, and we've got people with poison in their bodies, and we've got the abortion epidemic.
Yep.
Like, how is society going to exist in like
Well, that's
50
what they're
years?
trying to do. They want you to be one separate, lonely, and broken person away from
Mm,
everybody so that you're so easy to control, so that you depend and you do whatever you're being told to do.
yeah.
Why? Same thing with the, I don't know how to say this word without it being banned, but same as getting different, let's say, yeah, I can't, vaccinations, right?
Yeah. Yep.
It's easier to tell one person and to persuade that one person that they
Yep.
have to do it than
Hmm.
persuading a whole entity, family, that have kids and that want to decide for their own based on their religious views or just their opinion and so on, right?
Yeah.
When it's a one person that's, separated from everybody else,
Hmm.
it's just so
And
much easier to control.
you don't have a spouse to go home to and go, "Hey, I was told this," and like,
Yeah,
"What do you think?" And like have a conversation
yeah,
because we're so divided. You could maybe call a friend, but if that friend disagrees with you, that's it. You're kind of like, "Okay, I'm isolated in my opinion again." And if you don't
yeah,
have a spouse or a family to think about, to talk to banter with, you've got no other opinions coming in your mind.
exactly. And also, on top of everything, you're being shamed for the views
Mhm.
that do not align with what you are being told to believe in. For
Yeah. Yeah.
example, if you're like, let's say when the whole COVID thing started, right? How
Yeah.
did they make people get vaccines? They would say, you have to protect your people or the people around you, you have
Yep.
to protect
Yep.
your parents and so on, so they guilt trip you
Mhm.
into getting vaccinated to protect people around you or like to
Yep.
protect your elders and so on, right?
Yeah.
Then they also motivated you with money. This is hilarious. They
I
were
know.
paying
I know.
$3,000 if you do, like, how can
Where's
this
this
be
money
good for
coming
you?
from? Yeah, where's this money coming from, by the way?
Yeah, like
Like, is this
how.
my taxes?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, how can a vaccine that they pay you to get done is good for you?
How are people this dumb? Like,
Yeah,
if it saves lives, you wouldn't need to pay me. If it
exactly.
truly saved lives, I would get it because I'm a good human. The
Yeah,
fact that you want to pay me to get it means you need to incentivize me with me, which means you really don't believe it works.
exactly. It's like
And a
they
free
tried to
hamburger.
guilt trip you first, then they gave you financial incentive, and
Yep.
it
And then
works on some
hardships.
people.
Yep, and then hardships, if and then threats,
Yeah,
coercion. If you
yeah,
don't get
yeah,
it, you didn't
yeah,
take the hamburger, you didn't take the free donut, you didn't take the coercion and the gaslighting. Now we're going to threaten to remove things from you if you don't.
yeah. You
It's
can't leave your
insane.
house, you can't travel, you can't do anything.
What does your husband do for a living?
So we actually, both of us are kind of in the same area. He does PR,
Oh,
and
okay.
he mostly works with basically. I like his company kind of like slogan. They make rich people famous or famous people rich or
Oh,
something. I
that's
have
funny.
to. So it's like if you want to become famous, he helps you kind of like building up a plan and writing your book, uh,
Hmm.
putting you on TV and so on.
Gotcha.
uh, and he helps with like verifications for Instagram and basically anything kind of like PR related.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I need to get verified on Instagram. They won't they won't verify
Me
me.
and you are in the same boat. I don't think we're
Yes.
ever
Oh my
getting
god.
verified.
I know. They're like, once we give her credit, she's gonna get real mouthy.
Yeah, because
Uh,
then it's harder to take you down.
that's right. That's right.
So that's why I try to get verification for a very long time, and it's always like, oh, you have too many like banned videos, you have too many
Yeah.
guidelines,
Mm.
or yeah,
Violations.
yeah, violations.
Violations.
Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't
So
know.
your biggest shtick, I think, is the Russian women compared to American women. So what are like are those all pretty legit? Like Russian marriage, Russian family, Russian lifestyles different than American?
Well, it is. It is very different. Russian life is very old school.
Mm.
So we have women doing women's things like
Mhm.
house, taking care of the
Laundry,
house,
dishes. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You raise the kids, you take care of the house, you don't work, you drink wine and you enjoy your beautiful life, and you let the man make money, bring it to you, and then you go and spend it on shopping or whatever you like.
I identify as Russian
Yes,
officially.
thank you. It really is very like the gender roles are very distinguished back home,
Mhm.
where man is a man, he is the provider, a woman is a woman, and we never really have anything like a cross gendering and changing the
Mhm.
roles in Russia. It just never it's just not there. So when I kind of compare American versus Russian women, of course it's all exaggerated, right? Like it's
Right, of
comedy and
course.
stuff. I
Yeah.
recently almost got canceled for like talking bad about oat milk, even though I drink oat. I love oat milk, but people are like, "Oh, do you know that cows are raped?" I'm like, "Oh my god, this is a comedy. Like, how do you take it that far?" And then I had to make another video where I opened my fridge and I showed them oat milk. I'm like, I don't even like cow milk.
Oh my gosh, they are like looking for a reason to be offended. Unfollow
There's
me if you're looking for a reason to be offended.
exactly. It's
You
like
could say you think brown-haired women are ditzier than blondes, and I wouldn't be offended, right? It's like
right?
whatever,
It's like,
like they're looking for it. Yeah.
yeah, like who cares?
I'm sorry, did you create cows? Why are you so offended? Did you make cows? Like, are
Yeah,
cows your creation?
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
they're just like looking for anything because they need reassurance. They need
Yes.
somebody to be like, "Oh no, you're right. Your
It's
views
you're
are
you're you're
so
normal.
perfect."
Yes, it's okay to drink cow
Exactly.
milk and oat milk. Inclusivity for all in the milk
Yeah,
realm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just milk,
Oh
whatever.
my gosh. Yeah,
um,
seriously, what a dumb conversation.
I know.
Do you eat
um,
dark chocolate or milk chocolate? Because don't you dare
exactly.
slander milk chocolate, because that's what I eat.
Yeah, it's like, and believe me, those are the exact same people that are going out and protesting and fighting for equality and freedom of speech.
Totally.
But when
Totally.
somebody else has a different opinion than
That's
they,
right.
that's not
Off with
allowed.
her head.
Nope.
Off with her head. And those fake boobs. And
Yeah,
those
yeah.
lips.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I
Yeah?
get so much shit for that. It's like it's very interesting because every day I wake up and I'm like, what am I gonna be canceled for today?
Yes.
They request me to stop saying Russian and replace it with saying Ukrainian, and I'm like, I was born in Russia.
I'm
I
Russian.
I am Russian. I can't change that. Whether I want to change it or I don't, I can't. It's like
Yeah.
white or black. I cannot say that I identify as black. It's just never gonna happen.
Oh my
Same
gosh, it's
thing.
insane.
They're like, we're gonna unfollow you because you're saying Russian versus American, not Ukrainian versus America. And I'm like, that's insanity.
Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't miss you. My number is
Yeah.
still gonna be 1.7. A
Yeah.
lot
I'm
of you would
like,
have to unfollow me.
don't announce you're
Just go.
leaving.
Don't let your American follow hit you on the way out.
Yeah, so
Oh my gosh. I love it. Well, I
I'm
think
sh-
you're hilarious. Nothing you say
thank
has
you.
offended me yet. You should make a list. You should start a dry erase board, and you really should make a list of things that you get canceled over. Because I
Yeah,
feel like
oh,
when you
that would
go
be
down the
fun.
list, oat milk would be
Yeah,
just
yeah,
a
yeah.
hilarious, like really they could cancel you over your own fake breasts. Like these are my breasts. I can do what
Yeah.
I want with them.
Yeah.
There's no
As long
question.
as I don't try to see, here's the thing. If I put anything in my body, but I don't influence others people to do it,
Uh-huh.
that is cool. And this
Yep.
is exactly how I look at anything else in the world, whether you're changing your gender, whether you are gay, whether you're straight, whether you're whatever skin color you have. As long as you don't come to a 6-year-old child and you tell them, hey, you should be straight, or hey, you should be this.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to influence any children into any of your beliefs because, you know,
Yeah,
it's,
they don't need it. We should be teaching them that they should be happy with who they are. And when I say that, I actually mean
Yeah.
you should be able to be happy that you went and chose to get fake boobs and you feel better about yourself with your fake boobs.
Yeah.
We should be empowering each other like, hey, if you want to wear too much mascara, but you feel like you are comfortable wearing way too much mascara according to society, I applaud you. If
Yeah.
you've got tiny milked mom boobs that are saggy and horrible, but you're happy with those boobs, don't get a boob job. Like
Yeah.
it would be like teaching it would be like, to me, the trans movement, the whatever, the whole indoctrination of kids would be like telling a 16-year-old when her breasts develop that they're too small and she should get a boob job.
Yeah.
Like, leave her alone. You are
Yeah.
beautiful the way you are, should be the words that come out. You're beautiful the way you are. If you would like to change it, go ahead.
Hmm.
Otherwise, I empower you and I think that you're beautiful. That's what it should be.
Exactly. So I actually, another thing that I was actually really excited to talk about, and I hope I always talk about it on every podcast and every
Love it.
time I get a
Do.
chance,
Okay. You got the
um,
free reign.
is yay. How influencers lie about how they achieve their looks.
Mm.
So, because when I was a little girl, I was really insecure because I would look at models and
Hmm.
I would be like, oh my God, how do they have such beautiful skin? And I have
Hmm.
all the acnes everywhere.
Yeah.
How do they have such beautiful body and I have like a body fat? Or,
Yeah.
I would always compare myself to all these influencers, and then I would look at them talking, and they would say, no, this is all real, no, I don't do any plastic surgery. Then I grew up and I
Hmm.
realized that perfect skin is a result of Botox, a lot of cosmetic procedures, unless you're just like born with it and you're very
Right.
lucky.
Yeah. Which
um,
very rarely women are. Very rarely.
exactly.
Yeah.
uh, Perfectly sculpted body is a result of a lot of surgical and
Hmm.
cosmetic procedures.
Yep.
Long lashes, none of
Lash
us have them.
extensions. Yep.
It's either
Yep.
mascara, it's extensions, and all this kind of stuff, right?
Yep.
So when I got at least a little bit of following, I made it a rule to make sure that I don't get any of the girls that are watching me that are possibly underage insecure because I lie about how I achieved my looks. So
Yep.
I'm always openly talking about I had a nose job. I have always do fillers in my face. I do Botox.
Hmm.
I have boobs done, this and that. And I always talk about it that this, and also I use a lot of filters too. So,
Yes. I'm
so
like,
it's like,
filters. It's like genius.
yeah,
Filters.
yeah, I
Life
love
changing.
it. So what you see is not really reality. So I really can't stand those influencers that are like, she's sitting there with like perfect double D's and like perfect body, and she's
Yep.
like, I was born this way. Like, shut the
Yep.
fuck up. You were not.
Lies. That's hate
Like,
speech. Censor
just
her.
it's great, do whatever you like, and I honestly love my boobs, and I'm probably gonna redo them and maybe even make them bigger, I don't know, but I'm always gonna be open about it, and I'm never
Yep.
gonna let anybody believe that this is how I was born and that this is
Yep.
my own nose and my own lashes and so on. That's
I love
sorry,
it.
that was
That
my
is
little
like
rant.
such no, that is such a relief to hear, because it's the very thing that we get canceled over. Like
Hmm.
like the left makes fun of, whatever, my Botox, my lips.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're making fun of something that I elected to do. Like,
Yeah.
it'd be one thing if you were making fun of my personality. That would be authentically me, and you can't do that because my personality is awesome. But you're making fun of something I chose. Your lashes look like spiders. I'm like, I purposely put these on,
Yeah.
like purposely. So
Yeah.
clearly, I'm fine with them. But I love that you say that, because it is really, we have to struggle with. I do what I do because I like the way it looks on me,
Yeah.
and I don't ever want to lie about it. But I also feel a responsibility not to set outrageous beauty standards for other girls.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's true that if you can't afford it, you have to live with what you got. And for
Yeah.
the longest time I did. And then when I started doing hair and making a lot of money, I was like, I'm going to get Botox. Oh, I'm going to get fillers. Oh, I'm going to see
Yeah.
like what this does. And when you start changing your face and achieving something that you are happier with,
Yeah.
great. You shouldn't have to apologize for that. But it's also like, it's our responsibility to be open and say, when you look around, the Kardashians of the world
Yeah.
they never looked that way until they started
Ex-
making money.
oh my
So
God, you're exactly right. And there's a whole episode of Kim Kardashian getting X-ray of her butt to prove that her butt is real. A
an
butt
X-ray
like
wouldn't
this.
show that.
Exactly. But
Stupid,
she's
stupid.
trying to make little teenage girls that are watching her believe that she was actually born with that butt. No, it's not true. She
That is
dedicated a
horrible.
whole freaking episode to fooling people into believing her butt is real. Why
That's
can't you
horrible.
just be open about, yes, I have money, I get butt done every half a year.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Y-
why not saying this and being an honest influencer, telling girls that, hey, it's okay, I have a flat butt and I'm cool with
Yeah, I
it.
wanted my butt bigger. I went and paid for it to get bigger. Do you like it? Great. If you don't, oh well, I like it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, the left, so they always make fun of my Botox and my lips. And then recently they've started talking about my fake boobs. And I actually don't have fake boobs. So I'm always like, I'm going to go ahead and be flattered that you think
Yeah.
my boobs are so perky and full that they're fake. Like
Yeah.
so dumb. But the same people don't judge me. Don't put me in a box. Don't criticize this and this and this about me. I can then turn and make fun of you for
Yeah.
the things that you elect to do. I
Hmm.
can change my gender because I feel more comfortable. But don't you dare get a boob job. Don't you dare get
Yeah.
Botox. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
hypocrites.
Exactly. That's what internet is really. I used to actually I used to read my comments when I first
Oh,
started posting,
yeah.
and oh my God, I thought so many times of just like shutting my page down.
Mhm.
And most of the people, I guess, try to be funny because they think I'm a comedian, so they can be like funny because I make fun of people, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna make fun of her." But the rule is, if you're making fun of somebody, it has to be funny. You can't just
And
be like,
yeah, you can't just make fun
"You're
of them. That's
ugly,"
the
ha
bullying.
ha. Like, no, that's not funny. If you put it in a nice
Funny
sentence,
way.
like a nice joke, sure, I'll take
Yeah.
it.
My favorite, and I hope that you get this too because it makes it funnier. My favorite mean comment is when people are like, "You're hideous," and I'm like, "Well, I know I'm not hideous, so like I can't even be offended by that. I
Yeah,
clearly I'm not hideous. Okay,
yeah,
make fun of something that maybe I might actually be insecure about, but that's like saying I'm fat. I'm like, well, I'm not fat,
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like, do you get people going, "Oh, you're ugly anyway," and you're like, "Well, I know I'm not ugly, so
Yeah, well,
next."
that's what's that. I guess the beauty perception is different in everybody, right? But also, a lot of comments come from jealousy. But
Mhm,
what these hateful comments really do, they discourage a lot of people from putting themselves out there.
mhm,
Because
yes,
I get a lot of messages from girls that, or guys too, but my
mhm,
following is like 95% women. So that's why I'm always girls,
yeah,
girls.
yeah.
So I get a lot of messages from girls saying, "Hey, I started like an arts page because I this girl sends me these paintings she does, and they're incredible. They're beautiful. They're just like they take so much work. She does them with like pencil, and she draws your face, and it's like so realistic." So
Wow.
she started a page where she would post her the paintings,
Mhm.
and she received so much hate and so many negative comments because people were like, "Oh, this is bullshit, this is not you're just copying some other person's style or whatever." So she shut down her page because
Ah,
she felt like everybody is hating her, and
oh
this
my
is what exactly
gosh.
what's happening.
Yeah.
And even a lot of suicide happens because of
Mhm.
cyberbullying. Some
Yep.
girl posts a picture or a video of her trying to be maybe cute or funny or dancing or whatever. She gets comments from like, and all these comments usually come from like fake pages with no picture,
Yep,
right?
100%.
It's
Okay, so
like,
you can make fun of me, but you can't even put your picture up. Like,
exactly.
have
It's
the
like you,
balls to speak. Yeah.
right? It's like
Yep.
you're so insecure, you can't even put a picture of yourself
Yeah.
on the internet, and yet you're making fun of me. So a
Yep.
lot of girls, when they get a lot of hate saying like, "Oh, you're ugly," or "Oh, you're fat," or something like this, a lot of cases of suicide from that
Hmm.
actually happened worldwide.
Yeah.
And
So
that is
sad.
insanity.
Yeah.
So there's like so much hate, but if you try to just express your opinion on not wanting to groom children into
Hmm.
sexuality, then
Yep.
you
Nope.
cannot do this. You're gonna be
Yep.
banned.
That's right. It's so hypocritical. I am glad you put yourself out there. I'm glad that you are like women power, that you make a joke out of it. Anytime you need my backup on a post, I'll come to your rescue and fight your
Thank
little
you.
minions. You let me know. Just tag me. And I'll be like,
Thank
oh, here
you.
I am with
I'll
my
do the
fake lips.
same.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
very
well,
happy we met in the bathroom.
thank you. I know, me too. Okay, so tell people where they can find you on TikTok and Instagram or website or whatever so that they can go follow you.
So I am Torry Hermann everywhere, literally.
Okay. Okay.
TorryHermann. Uh,
Okay.
I'm mostly on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and that's all for now. I have other social media, but I'm just
Okay.
not paying as much attention.
Yeah,
Um,
you keep making those funny reels. You focus on
uh,
the reels.
right.
Oh,
um, yeah, I also have my own website, www.torryherman.com, and I sell a lot of like cool merch and jewelry.
oh,
This is my
cool.
little,
Oh,
make like little
cool. I didn't know that.
flowers.
See, that's awesome. Okay,
Yeah,
check
so
it out.
feel free to check it out.
Okay, we will. Thank you,
Yay.
Tori, so much for coming on. I'll be remixing your stuff. You know it.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to have our online friendship, and
Me too.
hopefully, I'll see you soon in Arizona or something where we travel quite
Yes,
often.
that'd
So,
be awesome. I'm going to message you. There's some Turning Point events coming up, like the Young Women's Leadership Summit in Texas.
oh,
If you're
that's
not
cool.
going, you should go, and then we could rally there together. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I'd love to.
Okay, let's do our cheers. Do you have a?
Hey,
Yeah, you know you
hold
get to
on.
pick the
I
cheers.
I wrote it
Is it
down
vodka?
so that I don't
Oh.
forget it.
Ah.
Okay.
All right. Cheers to.
Cheers to, or do I say cheers to, or I just
You
continue?
say whatever you want. Yep. Cheers to.
Okay.
Say it in your best Russian accent.
Yay! I'm gonna say it in Russian accent.
Okay.
Cheers to creating a bright and clear future for our children and ourselves, and to laughing even more together in 2023. Mm, so much coffee.
Delicious. Thanks for tuning in to the Patriot Barbie podcast. Follow me on Truth Social at The Patriot Barbie and Instagram at the.patriot.barbie. Subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with your friends. You can find this show, my book Targeted, and my apparel line on www.patriotbarbie.com. God bless America and God bless you.